Hi everyone, this is Ganesha, a first year economics honors student at Srcc College of Commerce, popularly also known as Srcc. After a year and a half long 12th standard, giving two board exams, term 1 and term 2, giving CUET, and after multiple breakdowns, I finally made it here. A year ago, being in Srcc was everything I wanted, worked and prayed for. And even after spending 6 months here, it still feels like a dream to me. I always wanted to get into some college of North Campus of Delhi University, specifically Srcc. It was my dream college for the longest time, and that is why naturally CUET was a very important and life-changing exam for me, as it must be for so many of you out there this year. And with CUET being just around the corner, I thought it's the perfect time for me to share my CUET journey, my experience, and some last-minute very important tips that I feel might be helpful for the batch appearing for CUET this year. Just to give a little background, I was a Commerce with Math students in 11th and 12th standard. So I gave CUET for the following subjects: English, Maths, Accountancy, Economics and Business Studies. I also gave the general test, but I really did not prepare for it because the courses I was aiming for were Economics Honours and BCom Honours, and general test wasn't needed in that. Talking about my scores, if at all they matter, my normalized scores were 200 out of 200 in English, Economics and Business Studies, 191 in Accountancy and 168 in Mathematics. I'm sure you must have heard this a million times already, but trust me, NCERT is your definite base for preparing for CUET. Of course, for subjects like accountancy and macroeconomics, T.S. Grewal and Sandeep Garg are some books we are taught at school, so refer to that. But please do not go on referring to any new reference book or any new practice book at this point of time. In the last few days, all you should do is revise the concepts you have already done. What happened in our time was, since CUET was happening for the first time, हमें बिल्कुल भी आइडिया नहीं था किस टाइप के क्वेश्चंस आएंगे, पेपर पैटर्न कैसा होगा, कहाँ से रेफर करना है. All we were told is study NCERT, but of course ऐसा नहीं लगता कि that is enough and you are very apprehensive at that time. So I did a lot of practice book, a lot of extra books, but they really did not help me. Especially because ours was happening for the first time, so even the authors of those books did not know what kind of questions to expect. So some of those questions were really random and not at all helpful. I remember I purchased one book for English for preparing for CUET, and it had literature MCQ questions in it, and literature wasn't even a part of syllabus for CUET. So choose wisely the reference books you do refer to. Do not refer to a lot of extra books outside of your NCERT. Even if you prepared well for your boards throughout a year, which most of us did in our year because we really did not know what was going to hold how much weightage finally, that would be enough and you will be good to go. In CBSE board, we do develop a habit of rote learning, which is not at all something to be proud of, but cramming up things usually helps us get through our exams, but it is really not the case here. You really need to have proper concept clarity for sitting in the CUET exam, because since it is an objective type format, your concept clarity and your understanding of the subject is tested rather than your memory. So being thorough with all the concepts of NCERT is the first and the most important thing that you should do. One advantage that our batch had, probably the only advantage that we had, was our first term of board exams was in an objective format. We had MCQs in our first term, so we did practice a lot of MCQs from different books, different places for our board exams. So it helped us cover our first half of the syllabus in an MCQ format. So second half के लिए we did have to prepare अलग से, but first half के लिए we just had to revise whatever we had done because we had enough practice. In an objective format, you really need to have a lot of practice, so attempt as many practice tests, as many mocks as you can. Since yours is the second batch, I think a lot of online mocks from credible sources must be available this time, which will give you a fair idea of what type of questions to expect, and you should really go for them. And the more number of questions you see, the more variety of questions you see, the more familiar you will become with the subject and the more comfortable you feel when you actually go and sit for the exam. And even अगर वो questions में तुम्हें specifically concepts में help ना करे वो questions, it will surely help you maintain your speed. Do time yourself in these mocks. See how many questions you're able to attempt in the stipulated time frame and how many questions you're able to attempt correctly. उससे you'll be able to develop your speed as well. More than an exam preparation, what matters here more is your exam strategy. Actually solving questions in the given time frame in the exam hall, especially when the questions are in an objective format, is very, very different than solving them at home. Since it is a choice-based test, you will have to leave some questions. You will be required to attempt say 40 out of 50 questions. So which all questions to leave and which all to attempt is also something that you have to choose very wisely. Since there is negative marking, please do not focus on questions you do not know. Please do not get panicked seeing them. Focus more on attempting questions correctly than focusing on the number of questions you attempt. For example, in our year, our maths paper for CUET was something that was really tough and lengthy. And even though शायद वो questions इतने tough नहीं होंगे, but when you're in the exam hall under the pressure of giving the exam and you see those questions and जब वो lengthy हो जाते हैं and you're not able to complete those questions and time is running out, you do get panicked and pressurized, and इसलिए also you make mistakes. So please don't panic, maintain your calm and attempt as many questions as you can correctly, because maybe your set of questions were the tougher ones. So when the scores get normalized, it is dependent on how everyone else has performed. So even if you got a tough set of questions, your scores at the end will be normalized. For me, honestly, CUET was not just about giving an exam, but it was an entire journey with a lot of ups and downs. And when I look back, I'm genuinely very grateful for the entire process, not only because it helped me get my dream college, but because it taught me a lot of things. In our year, CUET was associated with a lot of uncertainties. Since it was happening for the first time, किसी को इतना idea नहीं था how it is going to happen, what to expect, what not to expect. For example, people who had their exam on 15 and 16 July were notified of the same 5 days before their exam. Centers were getting changed at the last moment, questions were wrong, exam was getting delayed multiple times. So a lot of this does put a load on you. It adds to the pressure and anxiety. But what you have to remember is, as much as CUET is about preparing academically, it is also preparing yourself mentally. You have to stay calm and patient at all times. All you can do is put in the hard work, be patient, stay calm, trust the process and yourself at all points. I do realize that this is a time filled with a lot of stress, anxiety and self-doubt. Trust me, I have been there. This is a very important exam of your life and it can get messy at some times. I was in the 11th standard when I put up a poster of Srcc in my bedroom. So I know how crazy it can get. But trust me, working hard is very important, but it is equally important to believe in yourself. But going through that entire process and being on the other side now, trust me when I say this, it does fall eventually into place. I know it is hard not to be stressed, but please don't ruin your performance because of it. This one exam cannot be the definite point in your life. Getting a few marks more or a few marks less does not really matter. Whether you make it to any college, every college has its own pros and cons and a unique journey that you can experience at every place. Srcc is not the end of the world, neither is any other college, because when you come to college you realize there is so much more to discover. So please do not let this one exam define your worth. Be focused, work hard, stay calm, believe in yourself, and I'm pretty sure you'd all do really, really well. All the best and hoping to see you on campus soon.